So Louis van Gaal, I think you'll agree, he's brought in to win the league, within the next 2 or 3 years. Can he do that with this system?
It's never been done before in English football, but he's the type of manager who is confident enough, to be able to do it. He's confident to come to this country and think, I'm going to do it a different way. But I think we'll know in this next few weeks. We'll know by the recruitment, the type of players that are brought in, whether he's signing... Blin's been mentioned, Vermaelen was mentioned a couple of weeks ago. That suggests he's looking for players who fit the system. And I believe strongly that outside centre-backs in the back three, who have to defend the wide areas and accept the ball in wide areas, in full-back positions, and wing-backs who have to be equally as good at one end of the pitch as they are at the other, I believe are specialist positions. So we'll see by his recruitment. At the moment, I think he's forced to play this system because of the players that he's got and the deficiencies he has with his back two, midfield area, and he hasn't got world-class wingers. So he's forced to play this way, I think.
So you're talking about specialist positions, like people growing up to be a wing-back. So you're trying to tell me it's that much different from the way the modern full-back plays? You play in a back four now. The full-back positions they take up, we see now the high and wide. You see Liverpool do, you see Everton do, Roberto Martinez. The modern full-back gets forward. The modern full-back is a box-to-box player. You're talking about wing-back as if it's a lot more physical in terms of running. I don't think it is. I think when we talk about full-backs now in a back four, and you judge a full-back after the game, if we watch Leighton Baines or Glenn Johnson play, if you say they played well, you're always talking about how many crosses they got in. That's how we judge full-backs now. That's what you're asking a wing-back to do. I don't think it is anymore in terms of running. I think maybe 10, 15 years ago it would have been different, but now, the modern game, I don't think it is. And you're talking about wide centre-backs coming out with this ball. Yeah, at times, if you put the wrong players in the wrong position in a system, they look awkward, they can't do it. But look at Liverpool last season. When Steven Gerrard drops in between his two centre-backs, those centre-backs, whether it was Sakho, it was Skrtel coming out with the ball, that's what they're expected to do, or Daniel Agger, whoever it may be. That's what you're expected now in the modern game, centre-backs. It's not a system where, we're talking about it being a long time ago. We haven't seen it for a while because I think what killed that system is teams playing one up front. I think a lot of teams in the late 90s, I think Madrid, Munich, Ajax won Champions Leagues playing it. Well, someone like Mourinho coming in, playing that one up front, everyone went 4-3-3. I think that's what kills the system. I think that's what Swansea have done to Manchester United. Other teams will do it. But the way you're talking about it, I just don't see how it's that much of a big difference for a full-back to play 10 yards further forward, a centre-back to receive the ball in 10 yards, slightly different.
There are a number of teams who play this system, so it can be done. But to actually get to the highest level and win the best trophies with it, I believe personally, as a wing-back, you would need to... If you're a full-back, technically, you're expected to go forward, I accept that. As a wing-back, I think you have to be technically higher standard. I think defensively, if it's a winger that's playing there, they have to be defensive. They have to up the defensive technicalities. Energy-wise, I think it's 100% different. To play left centre-back, or if you play centre-back in a back four, I think it's a different physical expectation that it would be playing a left back in a three at the back. I think as a wing back, you have to be at the back post every time. You have to be back every time. Whereas in a full back, you might say, well, I'm not going to go forward this time. Leighton Baines doesn't go forward every time. He goes forward a lot, but he doesn't go forward every single time. As a wing-back, he'd have to. I think it is a lot more physically exerting to play in those positions, personally. Having played, I found it difficult playing right wing-back. I found it easier playing right centre-back physically, but right wing-back, I struggled badly physically from that.
But as a wing-back, don't forget, you'd be starting 10 or 15 yards higher up. So when you're talking about physically getting forward and getting back, you've still got the protection as well of an extra centre-back there as well. You're talking about physically getting forward. I think a wing-back, you're talking about technically, I don't think anyone's expecting him to beat his full-back on the outside.
How many full-backs, how many centre-backs do you know that can defend well one-on-one in wide areas?
Well, haven't Liverpool done that this season? Haven't teams done that when we're talking about Gareth Barry?
How many can you think really can defend well in wide areas and go out there and be comfortable on the ball as a full-back, take throw-ins for the first two...
Me?
You? Not sure about that. I've got some clips that prove you don't.
No, but I think with the system, I think it's gone out of fashion because of that one up front. I think we've seen Roberto Martinez do it at the end of last season against Man City. As soon as Man City went to one up front, he changed to a back four. I think that's what's killed the system more than anything. But I don't think it's as big a change as you're talking. And I think for us, we've been criticised our whole careers. We're not like foreign players. We don't get teaching in our academies to do systems, different positions. We're saying the players at the top end of a Premier League, at international level, English players, cannot play in a different type of system.